Hi everyone, it's Gina with the Western Way of Life. If this is your first time following, hi, nice to have you here. I am in Grow Zone 7B. I'm along the Red River in southern Oklahoma. I'm just going to give you a little overview real quick if this is your first time. This was a abandoned garden and it's been abandoned for years. So I've decided to come in this year and actually put in a vegetable garden. Number one, it's all covered in landscape fabric. So I couldn't come in here with a tractor and just till it up and start perfectly fresh. To tear the landscape fabric up was going to be way too much work. There's nails in it, and I didn't even know how to begin to clean it up. So what I've done is what I'm going to go through, and the people that have been following me, I'm going to show you how things are looking. And what I've done. So let's go ahead and start with the crates, number one, because they look fabulous. So these are seedlings that I started in January, and the crates are wonderful because they have they're open crates and air gets in there, and they really have a good way to flush the water out. Water does not sit in any bog or anything like that, and everything is growing really good. I have grown flowers in the crates for years, so I know that if the flowers grew in there, why wouldn't vegetables? And they are growing really nice. Now, I do have carrots in some of these, and I'm not sure how the carrots are going to grow because I know carrots need a really long grow area, but also a soft area. And this soil that I put in these crates is really soft, so maybe I will get some good carrots out of it. I'm not sure, but I have arugula, a lot of salad greens in here, kale. You can see what I've got. Just some Bibb lettuce, spinach, some broccoli is growing, bok choy. I've never grown bok choy. I don't even know how to harvest it. I'll need to watch a video on that, but it is a beautiful plant. The bok choy is beautiful. Strawberries, I've got some more spinach that I threw in there just the other day. I've got some celery, some Japanese celery that's growing. It's supposed to grow up purple, so I'm really excited about that. Calendula, some more greens, onions, some more strawberries, and I've got a couple of blueberry bushes that I've repotted. I've already started 2 blueberry bush along the fence here, but the cleanup is very tedious. These are old rose bushes that I had back when I had a flower garden out here, and I cannot believe they're even alive. So poor things. But anyway, along with the crates, they're great to grow in. They really drain the water, no standing water or bog or anything. I did lay another layer of landscape fabric underneath the crates again this year, because any type of tear or hole that the landscape fabric has in it, a weed will grow up, unless it's of course covered, and I do plan on covering the aisleways with mulch. I am keeping many of the aisleways at least 3 foot wide to get in my wheelbarrow. So let me go back here, and I'm going to kind of give you an overview of how the garden is looking, especially for my followers that were kind of following me along. It actually has some uniform to it. I can start to see a garden. Over here, since I have the landscape fabric that's down, I had to cut the landscape fabric out. And what I've got here is about a 30-foot by 2 foot wide, 30-foot long in-ground bed, no till. I just put down the leaf mulch that I had out here and a really heavy covering of my aged compost. Then on top was a lot of the grow bags that I had that soil in it, so I threw it on there. It has no nutrition, nothing in it for plants, but it is dirt, so I decided to just throw it on there. I will cover this with some good fresh potting soil. The cattle panels are laying down on it because I'm going to have help putting in the T-posts. And then I'm going to put up these cattle panels, and I'm going to grow my tomatoes right here. I think that's going to be awesome. The weather here in my grow zone gets up into the hundreds so easy in the summer, but I have this tree that will give them a filtered shade in the afternoon, starting around 3 o'clock, 3:30. So they'll get plenty of sunlight, and then they'll go right into a filtered shade in the afternoon. The barn blocks the west winds, the northwest winds, and a little bit of the southwest wind. What I usually do is I will put up shade material along that fence, if the horses don't eat it, in that corner, and it will block that heavy, heavy southwest storm winds that come in the summer. But I'm so excited, and anyone that's been following me, you can kind of start to see the shape of the garden. I'm trying to keep everything really simple in straight lines for my drip irrigation. So I've got my in-ground bed over here for tomatoes. I've got my shallow vegetables and summer plants in these crates. Then I've got the above ground containers that I am putting the leaf mulch in today. And then I am topping them off with the aged compost. Then I will kind of get in there and walk it down just a little bit, and then I'll top these off with some really fresh potting soil. Here's another in-ground bed, and it is a 2 foot by 10 foot long. And so I've got that in-ground bed, the second in-ground bed, and then I've got the in-ground bed that goes along this fence that was never landscape fabric. It's been covered in my aged compost for years. A good 2 years. That's why it's so tall. And then I have dumped those bags of dirt on top of it, and then I will come in with some topsoil, clean topsoil, before planting. Of course, I will put my squash and my bigger vegetables along here with maybe some okra and, of course, sunflowers and so forth. Keeping it in straight lines, keeping it where I can run irrigation myself. I don't want to be overwhelmed. So this is the first time for me to grow vegetables, and I want to go big so bad, but I know better. I've watched so many YouTubes, and I know this stuff is going to grow and it's going to get out of control. So I'm stopping with this. It's a lot. I've never grown tomatoes before, and I'm really giving them a lot of area. And then this bed here, peppers, so forth. I love salsa. I am going to try my hand in canning this year, so I'm going to try to keep it with salsas and stuff like that. Maybe some zucchini. Just some really simple things. I just don't want to overwhelm myself. So, and if this is your first time following me, of the abandoned garden, so this is the back half. This is going to be a process here. And I'm waiting for the tractor to show up to help me. This is full of dirt, trash, old landscape fabric, the landscape fabric that I've cut out and put on top and so forth. And then I've got these big 30-gallon grow bags, and I just kind of topped it off with some soil and put some onion bulbs in there, and they're growing. And so that's what I did with those. I didn't want to move them because these bags will just tear. But they really drain so well after rain and stuff. They just do not. They hold enough moisture. They keep the soil cool, actually. Grow bags are very productive for growing. Because of that reason in the South, there's actually air can move through that soil and keeps it a bit cool. So on this part, I've got a plan actually for the first time. There's landscape fabric down, so that's what makes it so hard. You cannot just come in here with the tractor and it be perfect. Otherwise, it would be perfect. But over here, I've laid down the aged manure because there is no landscape fabric under there. I've torn it back, and it's not in a straight line either. It's just the way it was tore. So I went ahead and cut it, got the landscape fabric back, and have covered it with the compost and that soil that was in these grow bags. I did start to empty out the grow bags just to start the cleanup, and I thought, whoa, I better not do that. How am I going to grow anything in ground with that landscape fabric under there? So I knew I couldn't, so I stopped. And now when you go to lift these or drag these bags, they just tear. And that's what happened with those over there. They just tore. And I really want to get it cleaned up, but I have to have a plan. So my plan is anywhere where there's a hole, this year, I'm just going to put in a melon or a pumpkin and let the leaves take over this area. Now, I do plan on putting in melons, cantaloupes, and corn in this in-ground area just this year. And I can run the irrigation, the drip irrigation along here from this line here. So that's why I'm kind of keeping it right straight there. But looking back at this area, once this is all out of here, I am just sticking to this area for my garden this year, my main grow. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I'm really looking forward to how this is going to come around by summer. I still have a lot of work to do. I still have about 5 crates that I can use. I'm using one of the crates for my seedlings in there, but so once I get the other 5 filled, I've got seedlings that can go in there right now, but it's my weather. We're expected to have a really hard freeze tonight, down to 25, starting at 11 p.m., so it will be a hard freeze all night. And so my last frost date here is mid-April, so I have a month, almost a month to go. So I have plenty of time to fill up my containers. My seedlings are really looking good. I will go over those before ending the video. And I have them just kind of nestled in here with the door open, getting some sunlight. I've repotted many of my seedlings. And since I've grown flowers in the past, I knew I didn't need a whole lot of flowers because I know how much room they take up. Zinnias will really grow large and bloom large. Cosmos, you can tuck a Cosmo in anywhere. But I have lots of peppers started here, lots of basil to intermingle with some of the vegetables like my tomatoes. So I am growing a lot of basil. You know, and one basil plant, if you buy it at the store, is almost $6. So, and I needed close to 10. So that would be $60 just for basil. So I'm glad I grew a lot of basil. I've got a lot of peppers, calendula growing. The nasturtiums, but my tomato plants look really good. I don't have a whole lot. I think I've got maybe 10 tomato plants, maybe 11. So I really did not go overboard. And I think I have enough room in that 25 foot spot. It's not 30 foot long. It's just about 20 foot long. So I think I have plenty. But it is going to freeze tonight. So I will be moving all these little babies into the shed tonight. There's grow lights in there that I will leave on for some added warmth. And then temperatures look absolutely beautiful next week. Very mild, 60s and 70s next week. So, but hey, thanks for joining. And I will keep everyone updated on how the cleanup is going and how the vegetables are growing. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.